All right. We're going to call the meeting of the Property Committee we're going to call the meeting to order. We have roll call. We have all members except for Member Bloomfield, and Chairman Lehman would like to get permission to attend remotely. So let me read the script. Having conducted the opening roll call and declared a quorum is physically present, I would like to inform the committee that Chairman Lehman has requested to participate remotely under County Board Rule 20-20 and in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Notice was received by Member Lehman in accordance with our rules. Per Board Rule 20-20, Member Lehman will be authorized to attend the meeting electronically if a motion to approve the members' electronic attendance is made, seconded, and adopted by the majority of the members of the committee. May I have a motion to approve Member Lehman's attendance. Member Bell, second. Member Byrne. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? We have one no. All right. We have a majority then, I guess, to go ahead and approve her attendance. So welcome, Chairman Lehman.
Thank you.
All right. Got that done. Okay, consent agenda. First item we have is approval of the April 4, 2024 regular meeting. And we're going to roll in the recommended approval of bills and transfers, if any. Bills totaled. I did get a letter from the auditor saying they all conformed with our rules. And the bills total $1,327,947.76. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes and pay the bills? Member Tompkins, second Member Byrne. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Those bills will be paid. Okay. First item, we have no members have asked to appear.
That's correct.
So the first item is number 4A1, Mike Steffa, Director of Parks and Recreations. He has no action items. He does have his monthly report. Would you like to highlight that a little bit?
Sure. A lot of the items that I've listed on here are just normal startup items that we have at the park to go into our busy season. I'd be happy to answer any questions about any of that. Before I do that, though, I would like to thank Mr. Gaither here and his crew. They've helped us put some very large wooden beams in at Glazner Beach. We couldn't have done that without them. And then unfortunately, this past Sunday night, Monday morning, we had some vandalism done to one of our picnic shelters where one of the support beams were broken. And not being very knowledgeable on load-bearing items, I contacted Joe, and Joe and his team jumped right in and helped us out and are repairing that. So I would like to thank Joe publicly.
Noted. I do have a question.
Sure.
You said that up to date, we've sold nearly 800 decals, boat decals. What is the average? Is that above average, about right, or?
We're on pace. We're over 900 now.
Oh, wow.
As of today, we're on pace. I think the best we've ever done is 1,000 by Memorial Day, so we're ahead of our normal pace. The last probably 7 or 8 years, we've averaged about anywhere from 1,400 to 1,500 annual stickers. So we're on pace to maybe possibly break that, have a record-breaking season.
And what about campsite rentals?
We're running at about normal on those.
Okay, great.
But we are looking at our reservation screen this morning. We are pretty well booked up this weekend, so It's about that time where things start getting really busy.
Right. Well, and I would suspect that you make your reservation and you hope the weather's gonna work out for you, rather than the other
Exactly.
way around,
Right.
so. Member Burton?
So the vandalism that occurred, a support beam was broken?
Yes, it was more than likely done by a vehicle because we could see tire tracks leading up to the picnic shelter.
So is that picnic shelter usable, or is it going to be out of commission for some time?
No, it is usable. Joe and his team shored it up, so it is usable now, right now. But they're gonna put
A spike
regular
strip down to get rid of some
regular
cars?
beam in next week. They're waiting
Okay.
for some concrete to shore up and
Wow. Well, thanks. Yeah, glad we got such resources. Follow-up question, any more issues with beavers that we've seen?
we did end up, excuse me, we did end up putting fencing around approximately 150 trees.
Okay.
The ones that we considered the more desirable trees. So they have moved on to some other areas, but they're starting to take out more desirable trees in other areas now. So we'll probably try to keep wrapping some with fencing, and hopefully they won't keep on moving and keep taking up desirable trees.
Beaver's going to beaver, I guess. All right.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Member Bell?
Was there a police report filed with the county on the vandalism?
No,
And what cost was it to your department to have the work hours and the materials to do this?
well, I believe, Joe, the material cost was about $250. Yeah. And we can figure out man-hour cost. Yes.
Do we have insurance for that?
We do, but I believe it's $10,000 deductible.
$25,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that answers that question. Anybody have anything else? Member Tompkins?
Yes, sir. Are there currently any security cameras, or would it be desirable to put one at least at the entrance where you saw who went in and out?
We do have some at the Park Visitor Center and at the maintenance building right now. I am actually meeting with IT tomorrow to discuss some budget items. That's one of the things that's gonna be discussed is more security cameras.
All right, any other questions? Anybody in administration? All right, thank you very much. Thanks for all the work you do and appreciate it. Okay, next item is 4B. Joe Gaither, Director, Facilities Management, has one action item. Request approval of a proposal from Keith Engineering Design for plumbing replacement for the Government Center and 200 West Front Street building. I would entertain a motion. Member Byrne, second. Member Bell. All right, Mr. Gaither, go ahead.
Thank you. This is the engineering proposal for the domestic water and the wastewater in this building and the 200 West Front building, which also sometimes is referred to as the Health Department building. If you may remember, last fall, we had to replace a 75-foot section of cast iron in this building as it was decaying. When we replaced that, it actually was crumbling as we removed it, and we discovered that it's failing in multiple places in this building, as well as it's closely followed at the health department, as well as the domestic water, which is the potable water. The majority of the lines in this building and that building that are potable water, the domestic water, as we refer to, are galvanized. It's a combination of galvanized lines and copper, and if you're familiar with those two metals, they don't work well together. They kind of counteract each other and deteriorate each other. So we have had some major failures in this building previously that have caused some damage to some, that predates me, but my understanding is we've had some pretty significant floods here from that. And so the engineering will be to plan the replacement while both buildings remain in full operation.
All right. You have any questions? Member Byrne?
What's the approximate age of that plumbing? Is it original to the building?
It's original to the building, yes.
Can you remind me about how old is the building?
I think they're both in the 60s, were built in the 60s, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. Do you happen to have any additional?
I thought they were 50s,
Are they
but
50s?
I'm not certain either. I'd have to
Yeah,
look that
I
up.
don't remember. I'm sorry, I didn't
Oh,
bring the
no,
RFP
just,
that
yeah,
has the
more of a
dates.
curiosity figure. The cast iron was, don't feel like we've seen that for a while, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good that we're getting that done.
I think they might be a little newer than that. The only reason I'm asking, I can remember in the sixties, there, there was kind of a line of, I think there was a couple taverns down along through there, and there might have been, I think Marvin's been where, there's some retail stores through there, and I can remember that, and I was born in 56, so it might have been a little, I wasn't in the taverns, by the way, but, so anyhow, whatever it is, it's a long time, and it's, again, I think, I forget what the number was, 200,000 something? Seems like a lot of money just for the engineering, but if if you prorate that per year or whatever, I think, it's time to do it. And again, before we have a major issue to where we have to close the building or we have a lot of flooding or whatever, so I think it's a good idea, so. Let's see, I think do we have a motion? That's
I
all
have a
right. I'm sorry.
question.
I'm sorry, who does? Okay. Oh, okay, there you are. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. What would be our idealized timeline to have a project like this come to completion? So in considering that this is for the engineering part of it, and knowing that this is on the table because we have had some significant issues in the past, what would be our goal timeline to have a project like this completed?
That's actually an excellent question. That's one that we've pondered as well, and that's part of the engineering is the sequencing of the different areas within the buildings, so that we can maintain operations. That's part of what they're going to provide to us, as well as what would be a ideal or optimum timeline on this. It's just so many moving parts to it. It was hard for us to even be able to fathom a timeline on that. So that's part of the engineering, and why that is a little bit higher than what we would normally see is because of the sequencing piece of that.
Might I ask a follow-up as well?
Go ahead.
So would something like this be like the kind of problems that we're experiencing? Would they be exacerbated by the freezing and thaw cycle? Just curious again with the timeline and looking to see is it something that we would have the opportunity to begin getting amending before we get into the next round of freezing and thawing next winter?
The freezing and thawing shouldn't be as much of an impact as the use of the water running through the pipes. That's more of an impact. We tend to have a higher chlorine content in our water now as what we did in the 50s, 60s. The items we put in the water now kind of impact the metals more than what they used to, which is more of an impact on that deterioration.
Thank you. That's very helpful to know.
All right. Any other questions? Ready to vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have your report. Is there anything you'd like to highlight on that?
Yeah, we've been moving along really well on the Law and Justice Center. I had the opportunity to hear some feedback from a former director, Jack Moody, and the feedback was the building is going to be a consistent color for the first time since the 1990 gel expansion. He said that they put the additional levels on the front section, the Law and Justice section, and the metal on the original had faded some, so they didn't quite match. So this would be, the first time that that's all matched. So that was kind of fun to get a little feedback on that. And so that was exciting, and it's been fun to watch it. It's a dramatic change. You don't always get to see dramatic changes. Things are subtle, and this has been with the primer and then the paint going on. It's been a pretty quick change, so it's been fun to watch. The other thing that's not on the report, it just happened this past weekend. We had our two Cub Scout packs, Pack 3991 and 3942, complete some additional volunteer hours with us. If you see the flowers and the landscaping, they spent the day with us at several of our buildings doing their project work. And so they've brightened up our buildings on the interior and the exteriors of a lot of our buildings. So that was a fun one. I like to see that. So that was a fun one for me.
I was glad to see the moving blankets down from the elevators now, so it makes it look a little nicer in there. So I'm glad to see we're coming along with that. Does anybody have any other questions? Administration? Okay. Thank you very much. We will move on then to items 4C, Cassie Taylor, County Administrator. No action items, but I believe she has some information for us.
Yes, thank you, Chair Zollner. The West Bloomington Revitalization Project has reintroduced their plan for a little free library, which will be stood up in front of the 200 West Front Street building, near the, in between the bus stop and the first floor of the Public Health Building. As a reminder, back in the early days of COVID, Karen Schmidt, Brandon Thornton, and Mary Applington came to the property committee and got permission from the board to put in the little free library reading box where it will ultimately be with the health department, near the health department entrance. We've met with, had discussions with Joe Gaither and the facilities team to remind them of this project that was put on hold for a while, that it'll be coming back, and they very graciously agreed to assist this group in getting it put up. We should see that in the next couple of months. So just as a reminder, the West Bloomington Revitalization Project will be responsible for ensuring that there are books installed in that little free library, and it's going to be an expansion of their book bike program, for those of you that are familiar with that. And in case you're not, I want to read this very quickly. The West Bloomington Revitalization Project strives to support literacy and education for youth and adults throughout the community. Weather permitting, you will see the book bike out and about every other weekend and often during the week. The book bike is stopped with donations of new and gently used books from residents of the community. The book bike has a simple operating principle. We give away as many books as an individual wants for free, no strings attached, and no questions asked. The book bike looks to bring books and people together in happy and surprising ways. The book bike represents an integral part of the WBRP initiative to support literacy and education for youth and adults throughout our community. It reflects our commitment to sustainability and to individual connections that strengthen our sense of neighborhood and refresh our ties to one another. And so we are excited to be a part of that project and to allow them to have one of their little reading box, little libraries on our campus. So that was my first item. The next item is we will be bringing to the executive committee, because it is involving our ARPA funds, an amendment to the ARPA budget that will be allocating additional funds to the animal control building project. As we have been trying to forecast to you, the costs of construction have increased dramatically, in the last several years, and so there is a required adjustment needed to that allocation. We were anticipating it. We just did not know what the dollars would be until we started receiving bid documents and more of the project coming to completion. So we will be bringing that to executive committee on Monday, and didn't want you all to be surprised about that. The other item I want to share with you is in conjunction with Core Construction, we will be doing a groundbreaking ceremony this summer, and we will be giving you more information about that as that develops. Right now, they're working on clearing out some trees and putting a road in, as well as getting the permits to do those things. And so stay tuned. We will be having a groundbreaking golden shovel ceremony for animal control this summer. Those are all of my announcements.
Okay, just to mention, I think I saw on my Facebook feed that was 7 years ago, I think we had the groundbreaking for the mental health addition to the jail. I believe that's what it was, so it's interesting. Okay, anybody have anything else? Member Bell?
Yes, yesterday I went to Biaggi's and they invited me and several other business owners and people in the community for, got this little cap, and it's Visit Bloomington and Normal, and they're really getting excited about their Route 66 projects, and we have got a lot of people coming here this summer and fall. Hotels are going to be booked up, and they're looking that we are going to have a lot of people that are not from our community doing the Route 66. So I was happy to be involved in that and share our ideals together, okay? So that's all I want to say.
All right. Member Tompkins, sorry.
Yes, I just wanted to, as a member of the property committee, thank the gentleman here. I've seen and used a lot of your facilities, and they just do such great work. But I want us to keep in mind, going into 25-26 budget cycle, the county departments from our elected officials are undergoing space squeezes. We need to think proactively about getting space requirements and space adjustments as needed, so all these departments have a place to put their things. I just hope we maintain a growth mindset and look for opportunities to expand where needed going forward.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Administration? Member Lehman, do you have anything?
I don't, other than a large thank you to our department heads for the work that they've put in, especially appreciate hearing the great work that the facilities department has partnered with the Parks Department and, over the last month. Love hearing all of the cooperation and folks working together to help out, keep costs down, and take care of some of the big things that pop up along the way.
Okay, very good. Well, if no one else has anything, we will stand adjourned. Thank you all very much.